Welcome to this week's wrap-up. I have been so sick this week, but I have managed to drag myself out of bed to be SnapChick. I even had a model into the studio, which I love. I love having models into my studio. Let's see, what did I do? This week I did a VIP update video earlier this week, and I also did a photo shoot with myself. I used my lowest tech equipment, an older point and shoot camera, and my hardware store work lights. Those photos are up on SnapChick.com right now for VIPs. There is, however, a sample up for everyone. Then the very most exciting thing that I did this week was have Nicole into the studio. She is just a super cute model and she's so great and bubbly. Interview videos and photos from the session will be up shortly. Oh, also, Linco posted my review of their wireless Flora light on their YouTube channel. So you can find that by clicking here. And thanks to all of you who have already watched it. It helps Linco know that that I'm a good person to have reviewing their stuff, which I really like to do. So, okay, let's talk about a few of the photos from last week's homework. I had asked you to get creative with macro photography. Hans Brouwer posted this photo of a bee. He used a 35-70 f2.8 lens and was in manual macro mode on his D90. His settings were a focal length of 35 millimeters, a shutter speed of 1/250th, and an aperture of f10. It's interesting to me to see the bee in action and up close. I can see all the individual hairs on him, and it's actually a little creepy. Timothy Johnson posted this photo of a coin. I really like it just for the simplicity of it. The simple bright white background and the coin being a little off center. And I find the use of shadow super interesting too. Ulvi Karimli posted this abstract photo of some sort of decoration. His settings were f11, 1/60th, ISO 100, and he used an SB700. This photo is interesting to me because I like looking at it as it is, but it also makes me wonder what the bigger picture is. I have been getting so much email lately. I've always gotten a lot, but it's been record-breaking in the last few weeks. I've gotten lots of people asking me to critique their photos, which I really like doing. I just love seeing other people's work. I always try to find something to say about improvement in a photo, but the fact of the matter is, I have a pretty wide view of what good photography is. I think that the photo, just like any other kind of art or writing, should really depend on the audience. Beauty is, after all, in the eye of the beholder, I guess, right? I personally have gotten tons of criticism on my work, but that's okay. As long as I like it, I'm okay with some people not liking it, especially since I know that my taste is a little offbeat and just not for everybody. But I do always try and remember my audience, and I try to please everyone. So that's my piece of feedback for everyone. You've got to remember your audience, especially if you're getting paid for something, but always try to please yourself too. One other question I've been asked a ton is where I buy my gear. Well, I'm a bargain shopper. I definitely like the idea of being loyal to certain places, but I like to buy new stuff too much not to shop around for the best pricing. Most often, though, I end up purchasing on Amazon.com. Now for the news portion of today's show. I would put on my newscaster voice, but I barely have a voice. A ton of new equipment was announced this week. So let's talk about a couple of the Sony announcements. Their new DSLRs in the enthusiast line, the A77 and the A65, have 24 megapixel sensors and are super fast. The A77 can shoot 12 frames per second, and the A65 can shoot 10 frames per second. And that's using autofocus. Crazy, right? They've got some special technology that makes them different from other DSLRs to make them so speedy. Sony has what they called translucent mirror technology. Now, from my understanding, the mirror is translucent, so it doesn't flap up and down for every shot like it does in other DSLRs. That's why it can be so fast. The other really cool thing is that Sony is saying that these cameras autofocus accurately during video shooting. That's a big deal too. Now, you know I'm always concerned about price, especially when I see big developments come out. I wonder what the pricing will do. But these are a little on the high end of this enthusiast level of DSLRs when compared to other brands, but the pricing is really pretty close, especially when you consider that they are brand new items and not even out yet. Actually, the pricing is not bad. Now for next week's homework, silhouettes. I'm going to participate too. Now, I of course will take a photo of myself in silhouette, but you all can use anything. And you know me, I don't have any hard and fast rules. You can make it a partial silhouette or make the subject totally darkened. It's up to you. Post your photos on the SnapChick Facebook page, and as always, make sure to let me know it's okay to use it in my video by writing homework or silhouette in the description. That's it for this week. Be on the lookout on Facebook or on snapchick.com for the photos and video from my shoot with Nicole. Also, I have Kirsten coming into the studio tomorrow. I'm so excited to work with her again. I love her. I'll have the photos and the video up from that as soon as I can, probably early next week. And as for the rest of the week, I have a few instructional videos planned, so stay tuned.